Over that way, we can see Lake Champlain along the Lakeshore Road in the town of Champlain. We are on the Stetson Road in the town of Champlain, just off Route 9B. It's the 18th day of August 2012, and we got farmers or farmer wannabes, young and not so young, showing up here, and everything in between. It's the Farm Bureau's Day at the Farm event, and today it's at the Rusty Creek Farm owned by the Lapeer family here on the Stetson Road in beautiful downtown Champlain. We're going to try to find a person or two who will chat with us. We got Crusher O'Connell in the background walking through here. I don't know what he thinks he knows about farming. That's probably why he's here today.
He just told me he got off the hay wagon and he said he learned a lot.
Well, he should have spent more time in his youth on the hay wagon.
Well, we're not going to get into that right now.
Okay, we have Todd Giroux here. You are the Vice President of Farm Bureau.
Yep.
First of all, what's the Farm Bureau? What is that?
The Farm Bureau is a group of local farmers that get together a little bit and work for each other's rights a little bit. We have lobbying groups in Albany, and we stand up for the farmer a little bit.
Okay, and it's more than just a local group.
Yes, it's national, state. Each county in New York has its own group, and it's pretty good turnout of people, and a good group to belong to.
So in many ways, it's kind of like American Legion, Knights of Columbus, that type of structure as far as national and so on.
Yes. It gets pretty big. Their annual meetings, I think this past year they were in Hawaii. Yeah.
Hey, they're having a drought in Hawaii right now, so the farmers in Hawaii are suffering.
Drought all over the place.
Yeah, including Hawaii, which is one place you wouldn't think of when you think necessarily of farming, and you wouldn't think of for having a drought because they're right there in the middle of all that water.
Yeah.
But it's a very serious problem that we have nationwide here.
Even local. It's dry even up here in upstate New York.
Oh yeah, I know in my area, some of the corn, you look at it, and some of the stalks are kind of brown right now.
Yep.
Some aren't, but some of them are.
Corn is one of our better crops right now because hay is a little bit short and hard to find.
That third cut isn't coming.
Second and third cut are pretty non-existent.
Yeah, so if you didn't get your first cut early.
We're very lucky right now that it's still early, and there might be fourth and fifth cuts this year. We might not have a choice just to be able to feed the cows.
Yeah.
So.
But you got to let it grow a little bit before you can. It's worthwhile to go out there with your equipment and chop it up.
Yep. So, we're trying to have a little nice event here, show some people a working dairy farm. And
first annual, Jane Gregoire told me.
Well, from what my father tells me, there was one about 25 to 30 years ago on Alan Stafford's farm. But that's been a while. Yep, down in Peru, because he's been out of business for a little while.
So every 25 years, the third annual will be
hopefully it'll happen again sooner than that. We're trying something, try to do a little fundraiser for ourselves. We try and help out around the community where we can, and so we're trying to get a little bit back for ourselves.
Locally, how big is your group?
Locally in Clinton County, I believe Wanda's taking pictures. I know. Yeah. She's been trying to do that all morning, and I wouldn't let her. And now that you told me I couldn't move, she got his picture.
Finally doing something serious.
Uh-oh. Finally doing something important here, right?
Well, people think it's important, I guess. No, I think this past year we had a little over 240 members in Clinton County Farm Bureau. State enrollment was down quite a bit, like by 10,000 people. So. There's not as many farmers out there, and money's tight, so we realize that. So.
Okay, now what's a member? If Lapeer's, Father Paul's a member, is Tony a member?
Tony's a member.
So even though it might be one farm, you might have three, four.
It could be multiple.
Brothers,
or they could just buy for the farm. We don't make people do anything. It's whatever they feel comfortable doing. So.
Oh, okay. You said that magic word "buy," so we're gonna find out what. You pay a membership dues, fees.
Right.
You offer insurance too to your members.
We did switch this past year. We're now affiliated with Nationwide Insurance.
Okay.
If you're a Farm Bureau member, you can get, I believe it's a 5% discount through Nationwide Insurance.
They used to have Farm Bureau Insurance, wasn't it?
Oh, a while ago,
Yeah.
yep, yep. Then it was Farm Family, but I'm not supposed to say that anymore. Now we're with Nationwide. So
Forget that he said that.
forget that I said that.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's got a few member benefits, and we take all members. You don't even have to be associated with farming. We do a thing called associate members, so they can also get information on what's going on in the farming community and in Albany and locally here in Clinton County, and it's just a good organization to be a part of.
Okay, and if you join, what's in it for you? Besides, if you're a farmer,
if you're a farmer, they're going to represent you. They also do workman's comp insurance and that kind of stuff to help with employment and stuff like that. So it's
monthly meetings. Quarterly?
We do. Our board of directors meets second Thursday of every month in Beekman Town at Town Hall, and we have annual meetings, and there's the state annual meetings to go to, and
so the rank and file, they don't have to meet every month if they want, or can they? They can go obviously go to the board
anybody's more than welcome to come to our meeting, yeah. But the board does meet monthly, and
where?
Right at the Town Hall in Beekman Town.
Okay.
It's 8 o'clock every second Thursday of every month.
It's pretty convenient location
for all of us. It's kind of central. Yep, it's kind of central because it's a big county.
Especially for you.
It's handy for me. It's just down the road, but we got people that come from Moores and people that come from Peru, so it works out.
And Ellenberg, must have some Ellenberg members.
Yeah, we've got a lot, but we don't see too many of them at the meetings. But that's okay. We've all got stuff to do. So
they're too busy being farmers to go to the meeting.
But
hang on, Tony. We'll get to you in time here.
Okay. He's next.
Time for one more tour?
No, you don't. Takes you too long.
What, you want to ride the tour?
No, thank you.
Well, you could take your camera and...
I'll probably come back here and time up myself and take a guided tour. Let me get Tony over here before you depart.
No, that's fine.
The Drew name seems to me I remember another fellow who was Farm Bureau president and used that to catapult himself to bigger and better things now, and probably isn't doing much farming anymore. You know who I might be talking about?
It might be my dad.
Joe Giroux.
Might be my dad, but he still milks cows every morning.
Does he?
Yep. He enjoys it. And I'm not going to stop him.
No. So you're right there on Route 22?
Right, yeah. Route 22 in Beekman Town.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I just took the farm over from him. And 1st of July it became mine, so it's as scary as it is.
He hung on to it for a long time.
He's hung on to it for a long time. He's been there. I think it's 46 years.
You wanted to make sure you weren't going to leave and become a priest, probably.
We're not sixth generation, but we're starting. Yeah. So.
6 generations up. All right, well, come on over here, Tony. We'll get Todd right out of the picture here because you're the president and he's just the vice president here. Don't move too much. You get right there see where you trample down that grass there. That's your spot. That's the spot because that camera doesn't know if you. 6 generations. Is that true?
That is true. It started with right here on my mother's side of the family, the Beaucaire family.
Oh, the Beaucaires. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't think your grandfather was selling Raleigh products. I didn't think he was running a farm at the time.
That's right. My grandfather, Lapierre, had sold Raleigh products up in Moores, and my father purchased the farm from my grandfather, Beaucaire, back in the late 50s. Yep.
So he was just probably just barely getting out of school at that time.
Yeah, he was about at that point when he farmed it in Moores for a little while, and I want to say he was 21 years old when he moved down here. In 1966, he farmed it at my grandfather's farm for a few years, and then in 1966 he built his own barn. Yep, for that generation.
Okay.
Yep.
And the Beaucaires for years had a little store here in
Beaucaires way back. Originally, they did a lot of hunting, they did a lot of trapping, they did a lot of fishing and cut ice, and that was all used to generate income at their store. They did sold a lot of vegetables and all products that folks needed from. That you would get at today's local convenience stores. Yes, that's exactly what they did. And then as the time went on, the next generation decided not to continue on with the convenience store, and they just stayed with the farming part and focused more on dairy and maple. Yep.
Okay. Now, are you the fifth or sixth generation?
I'm the fifth. I'm the fifth generation. Yes, my son. I have two sons and a daughter. Andrew is a junior at Cornell. My daughter Emily is a sophomore at Ithaca, and my youngest son Alec is a junior in high school this year. Yep.
So
yeah.
They're part of this farm, whether they like it or not.
Well, yeah, they do like it. They've been very involved. Been in 4-H throughout the years, along with my wife Mary. She's also been very involved. It's really, I think, helped the kids be very well-rounded. Not a lot of kids these days are growing up on farms, so I think it puts them at a little bit of an advantage. They've helped me out tremendously throughout the years. Yep.
Well, I think one thing that farm kids learn is where that dollar came from. It didn't just automatically show up in Pop's or Mom's pocket. Somebody had to work for it.
Yeah, a lot of times they've, over the course of the years, they see the good and the bad of everything. They learn how, what generates income for our family, and so I think they have a little more of a sense of what a dollar is worth. Yeah, I would agree with you with that. Yeah.
Even though the farm products may not be worth as many dollars as you'd like sometimes.
Yeah, well, you're in a commodity business. You're at the mercy of the commodity price, and it's not always the fairest way to make a living, but we are guaranteed that somebody's going to back up to our bulk tank every day and take our product. But for that, we're at the mercy of how much they're going to pay us, so depending on the supply out there.
So what's happening here today, Tony?
What's happening today is we're looking, Clinton County Farm Bureau over the years has generated income over different things that they have done, whether it be through an insurance program or other ways, and it's been quite a few years since we had a day in the farm where we could generate some income for the County Farm Bureau to operate. The County Farm Bureau, the past few years, membership as farms in general are decreasing. Membership is down. So we've come up with a few different ways where you can not only just be a regular member, or you can be a supporting member. And that would be your local people that are looking to come and support farms, whether it be our dairy farm, the vegetable farm, the orchards, all that is provided. Eggs. Yes.
Apple,
whatever. Definitely.
So whatever agriculture
is out there. So hopefully today what we're going to do is from the proceeds, we've had phenomenal support from our local vendors, people from all stages of the business that we do that have provided us with the things that we need to provide food for folks today, to provide ice cream. We've got some raffle items, and just donating money just for support to make it all happen, so that the Farm Bureau isn't going to necessarily have to put out a whole lot, and what we get from today is we can use to operate.
Keep operating.
Yes.
So this is hopefully maybe an annual event?
We're hoping this is the first one, Joe Drew has said, in 30 to 40 years that we've had. It's quite an undertaking to get everything together, but we've had great support from, like I said, the vendors, Minor Institute, who is also hugely involved, and of course Farm Bureau out of Glenmont or Albany. The State Farm Bureau has supported us with this also.
And it took a little effort on the Rusty Creek folks to prepare for this too.
It did. Lots of work from my wife Mary, getting involved and making the contacts, and then we've just got a real good group of people that we're friends with and that we work with either through 4-H or through Minor or just through the farming community. That's helped us out tremendously. So it hasn't all been our doing. It's been a lot of hands that's helped out. A lot of hands.
Okay. Anything else, Tony? I know you're busy here.
No.
We'll get you between tours.
Right, we're
Is that
gonna
hayride. That's your tour.
That's our hayride tour. I'm gonna probably head back over there, and people seem to really like the hayride tour. So we're trying to tell a little history about the farm, and then the evolution of the farm, and hopefully after any questions that they have, they can be answered under the tent here, and they can grab an ice cream or a sandwich and enjoy the day.
Or some smoked.
Or some pulled pork. Yeah.
Okay, one final question here.
Yeah.
On camera. How many farms? Obviously, the Beaucaire farm wasn't as big as you are right now. How many farms were?
Well, originally there were.
Hold that here, and I'll
okay.
line you up. Keep talking.
Okay. Originally there were 11 farms on this road, and we are on the Stetson Road, and we are now down to 2. So we haven't consolidated with bought all those farms, but when we do our cropping, that's kind of how we describe to our employees where we're going next. Is we're going to go to the Bayshard farm, or we're going to go to the Tétreault farm, or we're going to the Thibodeaux farm, and those are farms that we've purchased. So my great-grandfather Roy had the original 60-acre farm. A lot of it, almost half of it, was woods, and now we crop about 1,000 acres. So we've grown quite a bit over the last 2 generations.
Okay, well, let's get into the Beaucaire name. Roy was the first.
There was Roy Sr., Roy Jr., Harold, which is my grandfather, and then my father, then myself, and then my kids. It will be the 6th generation if they choose.
And who knows if there will be a 7th? Hopefully
that's
there
right.
will be.
Hopefully.
That's the plan. At least.
That's the plan.
Okay, Tony.
Okay.
We'll let you get back, but
All
don't
right.
go away yet. I want to ask you something off camera here.
Okay.
Once again, this is August 18th, and what I asked Tony off camera, it can now be really revealed. I'm hoping to get Gordy Little here and take an actual tour of this particular farm here. So be watching for that. We're hoping to be taking a tour of the Rusty Creek farm here on the Stetson Road and talk to some nice folks. And one of these days I'm going to sit down with Paul up here and talk about his father in the old Raleigh man days. Because I think that's an important part of history that's going to be forgotten if we don't make a record of it real soon. As Todd and Tony mentioned, there's a lot of exhibits going on here. Some vendors, among them Tom Lapierre, his Up North Barbecue, is here with lunch available, some pulled pork. And this morning when my bride and I were heading for Giroux's Poultry to buy some eggs, we went by Tom's a little after 8 in the morning and on Route 9, and he was there smoking up and getting ready for today. So he's got his store on Route 9 in the hamlet of Chazy, and that's operating right now, and he's here serving these folks. So it's a busy day for Tom today. Also, Macadam Cheese is here somewhere, and they're now part of Cabot, I believe. So they are set up here, and cheese is always a fun thing to get a hold of. And so a lot of folks here, some involved in farming, some not involved in farming. It's a great experience. Let's hope that this is an annual event. For us today, it's a hectic day. We started our recording at the Champlain Telephone Company, their annual Customer Appreciation Day. An open house is going on right now. When we leave here, we'll be heading back to the village of Champlain and heading toward the river park there on the River Street to talk to Mayor Martin and a few other folks and find out what the Champlain Village Fest is all about. There's Tony giving his talk here as they go on a hayride, an old-fashioned hayride, part of the Day at the Farm offered here today on this August 18th. And tomorrow, we got a call a couple of days ago, a very apologetic Leeward Babby, our good friend with the Babby Rural Farm and Family Museum, and he's having a harvest day today and tomorrow. So we couldn't make it today. We had too many commitments already. So we told Leeward we'd be there tomorrow, Sunday morning at 10 a.m. So after I leave the village of Champlain, I'll head home, head back to the village of Champlain to go to Mass tonight, and then tomorrow morning off bright and early to Peru to take in that. And that's how I'm going to be spending my weekend. There are pony rides here also, and probably a whole lot of things that I'm not aware of. I'm going to put my camera on a tripod just for a moment and see what the official program says. The first thing we notice is that the Rusty Creek Farm has a Facebook page, so you can probably find out a little more about what's happening here if you visit their Facebook page. But this again is a Farm Bureau of Clinton County benefit day. They're hoping not just to display things, but to also raise a few dollars for the Farm Bureau locally. Today's activities include farm tours every half hour. We made Tony a little late for his half-hour tour. Local agricultural exhibits. There's a nice display across the road, which includes a machinery lineup. McAdams Cheese Van, Children's Activity Center, pony rides, kids bouncy house. Not sure if I've spotted that yet. I think there's one over. Oh yeah, I see it over that way toward the house. Raffle prizes and a sand pit treasure hunt sponsored by Nationwide Insurance, with barbecue lunch available for purchase from Up North Barbecue and Catering. All proceeds benefit the Clinton County Farm Bureau. It says here that Rusty Creek Farm is a working modern-day dairy farm. For your safety, the calf barn located at the most southern end of the barn will be only barn open for walk-through. Be the only barn open. And the boys, Andrew and Alec, are there to answer your questions. The access to other barns will be available by going on the farm tour only, which is the hayride. Milking parlor will be open for a walkthrough. So that was what's happening today. Hopefully the second annual will occur next year, and keep an eye out for it, or contact the Farm Bureau. I don't see a number listed for the Farm Bureau, but just contact your nearest farmer, and they can, I'm sure, put you in touch with information regarding the Farm Bureau itself. So that'll wrap up. Tony's mother, the former Ann Beaucaire, goes walking by. I'll wrap up here, and we're going to head for the village of Champlain. In the meantime, thanks for watching and supporting Hometown Cable, and our thanks to Jane Gregoire, who gave us a call to make sure we would be here. We had seen a little bit of information that this was going to happen, and we were halfway planning on it, but when Jane called, we said, yep, we'll definitely put it on our calendar. See you next year, folks, at the second annual Day at the Farm, courtesy of the Farm Bureau.